Hello and welcome to the second episode today of I Want to Be a Wrestler, and I'm actually I'm in shock a bit because I'll try and explain this fairly quickly. First of all, it's episode 47, so and if you've been watching most of them, I rarely even talk about wrestling. There was a few episodes where I did, but. And the reason why I don't talk about what's happening in wrestling, because there's so many videos on YouTube about it. There's Wrestle Talk or Wrestle Ramble and What Culture WWE, just What Culture Wrestling, There's also tons more, and there's so much to choose from. There's no need for me to do one, but if you keep up to date with wrestling and you know what's happening now, it's pretty shocking now. Right, so I rarely do serious stuff, but it has to be done. It has to be done because it affected me in the heart. Right, so I'll first of all explain this. So I follow wrestling on the WWE network. That's where I normally watch old wrestling matches from the 90s, 80s and 90s on there. They've got every event that's happened pretty much, documented every TV show. I'm on a 2-month free trial there. So I got that about a month ago. So I've been watching like old stuff from the 80s, trying to get to know a bit more about the profession or the art that I'm going into. I just love it. Just love watching the old stuff. So I'm watching that. I also find the current product pretty terrible in general, but I still watch it because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of wrestling with all its warts and all. But World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, today they're currently on at the moment an event in Saudi Arabia called Crown Jewel. Now, I don't know if you keep up to date with the news, but basically Saudi Arabia's king or prince is fucked. There's lots of human rights problems. Women's rights, women aren't allowed to wrestle at the show. I mean, in the country, people are executed publicly. I don't actually watch the news, but I've seen a lot of bad stuff. It's pretty fucked in there. Human rights are fucked in Saudi Arabia now. World Wrestling Entertainment, that's the biggest company. If you don't watch wrestling, you're just watching this as a non-wrestling fan. They've done a deal with Saudi Arabia and they're getting paid £45 million to put on this event called Crown Jewel tonight. Now, basically, this was already booked, and about a month before today, a journalist called Jamal Khashoggi, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, got killed inside the Saudi Arabian embassy when he was trying to get a license to get married to his fiancée. Now he was stalked against this prince and all that he did to women and the people, the human rights, awful stuff that he's been doing. He used to write about it in the Washington Post, I believe, and so he went into the building to get his license to marry the person he's in love with, and he never left that building. And the story is that he got tortured and cut up into little pieces and put into a briefcase and taken away from that building. And his wife's not seen him since, his fiancée. Now, despite all of this, the main wrestling company, WWE, went ahead today and put on this event and cowardly way they carried to do it was to call it a global event, not to mention the country that it was held in at all. It was very, very strange leading up to it. Now they've brought back people like Shawn Michaels, who's been retired and should have stayed retired, in my opinion. After 8 years, they've got Kurt Angle wrestling, an absolute legend. Who else? They've got Undertaker. They've got a really great bill. They've got AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. A few wrestlers refused to go there. John Cena and Daniel Bryan just said no, and they've got such a strong influence in the company that they were allowed not to do it. Now, I said, because of all this, I said, you know what? I don't want to watch this. I'm not going to watch it. But I was feeling a bit like I knew it was on. I just was like, I was kind of interested in a sort of macabre way to see how it all unfolded. And now I'm just going to tell you what happened when I watched Crown Jewel, the pay-per-view event held in Saudi Arabia, and which they got paid $45 million for. Now, even though I read the wrestling spoilers, I'd had no idea this would happen. So it starts off with the promos, and it cuts to a studio, and it's like kind of a strange atmosphere, and then it goes to the arena, right? And this big arena, and who comes out? Only Hulk Hogan, right? So, I mean, this is so tragic. So Hulk Hogan comes out to his theme tune. I'm going to sing it for you. I am a real American, fight for the right of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so he comes out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, backtracking a bit, the pay-per-view actually opened with The Undertaker digging a grave. How insensitive to the family and the fiance of Jamal and America. So it starts off with a promo of a grave being dug. Then Hulk Hogan comes out. Hulk Hogan, right, if you don't know this, he is a racist. He's said the N-word in a recorded sex tape. So you start off with this event being held, them getting paid $45 million. You got the reference to death at the start. Then you get a racist wrestler called Hulk Hogan come out. He cuts a promo, very generic, obviously getting paid a lot of money to be there. Happy to be back in the company, I presume. He goes out there, cuts a really crap promo, doesn't mention where he is, which is really awkward. Then he leaves, and then it cuts to the Prince. I don't know his name. It doesn't matter. The Prince of Saudi Arabia. It cuts to him, and he goes, "Oh, and here's the Prince. Prince. Let's just call him Prince. I don't know. Just call him Prince. Prince Period." And it cuts to him, and it's like the Prince. It's quite a young chap, and he's sitting there. He looks really pissed off. He doesn't look at the camera. Obviously, he's paid quite a lot of money for this event, and they're not acknowledging where it is, and it's so awkward. All right, so then that's fine. Then first match happens, and Rey Mysterio comes out. Booyaka, booyaka, with the 619. Rey Mysterio comes out. Fine. By this point, I'm already not feeling like watching it for some reason. There's also loads of fireworks. And then who comes out? I hear voices in my head. They talk. It's Randy Orton comes out. Now, this is another thing that Randy Orton is accused by quite a lot of people, because there had to be one person in the wrestling industry that did it, by quite a lot of women or employees, of basically when new writers and new producers on the show, when they first started working there, he'd put his hands down his trousers, touch his dick, and then make them shake his hand, do stuff like that, real pervy stuff. So you got the Prince there, who's chopped up a journalist who's against what his government does, what his country does. He's killed this journalist Jamal. You've got Hulk Hogan, the racist, coming out. You've got Randy Orton, the sex attacker, the pervert. And by this point, I just turned the volume down a bit and lied the other way in my bed and shut my eyes and just listened to it. I haven't watched one match. It got up to, I just tried to sleep. I did sleep a bit, and I think I had a bit of a dream. But and then it's just I felt a bit sick. I think that's when the Big Show's theme tune came on, and I just got out of the house and I just got out of the house. And I couldn't handle it, and I'm not going to watch the rest. So screw you, Crown Jewels, up yours. That is just wrong, and this will fuck you. Like you've lost me. You know, we'll watch old Mankind, like ECW, WCW matches because I am a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling historian. But tonight, I'm going to put on some music by who's this artist called? By Hassel Adkins. I'm going to do something nice. I'm going to put on an album called Peanut Butter Rock and Roll by Hassel Adkins. Do you want to hear a little bit? Let's put a bit on. End it with a light note. On a light note. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad that I didn't. I'm glad that I didn't carry on watching it. I feel like a decent person. Yeah. So this is an album. This is a great artist called Hassel Adkins. That's Hasil Hassel, and Adkins Adkins. Big fan of this guy. Don't know much about him. Just I can't think where I discovered him. But, just drinking some fizzy water with some a tiny little bit of Sprite Zero. I got a notebook there, an A5 notebook, and I'm going to do some drawings. I'm going to draw the whole... I started it already a while back, but I'm going to draw the Wetherspoons menu. Every dish. With my eyes shut. And listen to Hassel Adkins. I've got about 10 of his albums. He's done fucking loads. So that's my evening sorted, and just wanted to share this with you because it was just like my jaw was dropping at how dark and fucked that is. The Crown Jewel. I just don't see how you can recover from that, putting on that event. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? Have a nice weekend. Speak to you next week, probably.